Is the Seahawks season cooked?
So, I mean, this is a question that I want to say yes to because I do like laughing at Mina's Seahawks and Seattle Seahawks fans everywhere. But it does feel, guys, like if there is any team for whom the 17th game is going to matter, it will be the Seattle Seahawks. Like I want to say that no, it's over. Like they've lost again. Like Russell Wilson, the lack of him has made it clear that Geno Smith is not going to be the guy who could win a game that is within one
I'm
score with
shocked.
3 minutes left to go. Yeah, so that's happened 3 straight times now, and they badly need the guy who was allegedly cooking too much. I just feel like the Seahawks are the sort of team that will have their lives come down in the weirdest, most extreme possible way. And that means they're going to be in this until week 18 / the 17th game.
I spent the entire minute, no offense, Pablo, wondering if anybody actually cooks Seahawks, because I feel like all birds are ripe or available. And I don't think I've seen a cooking show where a Seahawk could be cooked, so I feel like that's probably a good choice for a mascot. It's interesting how, like, depending on what you read, Pete Carroll and the GM over there in Seattle, like, should be gone right now. Or, as you're talking about there, as you can see there, all the three losses that they had, even without Russell Wilson, but the losses that they had have been very close, and it just makes you think, okay, maybe they can, recover from this. They got Jacksonville next week, they've got a bye after that, and Russell Wilson's supposed to be back after that, but it just makes me wonder, what are we doing all of this for if I'm Seattle? Like, you traded Jamal Adams for those first-round draft picks, and that was probably not a great move. Are you Super Bowl ready and prepared this year? I don't know. Is your offense necessarily up to date? Doesn't seem like it. Is it just basically DK Metcalf and Tyler Lockett saving you out there? I don't know, but it doesn't feel like this is a team that's prepared to win a Super Bowl anytime soon. So I'm with those sort of leaning on the side of, yeah, it's over, not just for this year, but for this era of, Pete Carroll and the Seattle Seahawks.
Yeah, first of all, Pablo's right. This is going to be a 9-7 team that's just going to edge in last minute. We're going to get like the last 2 minutes of the season. The regular season will be 9-8. They will be 9-8. They will be 9-8. I keep forgetting we get an extra game because the idea of playing one more NFL game seems so preposterous. It's like, yeah, here, listen, we're going to beat you with baseball bats for an extra 5 seconds. An extra 5. It doesn't seem like much, but that's 5 seconds of taking the worst beating of your life, aka playing a full NFL game. All right. The other thing is this: that when are we rebuilding? It is so hard for me to say when a team needs to rebuild because quarterbacks have such varying and potentially wild longevity. I know Brady's completely skewed the curve for this, but we're still talking about Aaron Rodgers in the year 2021. Russell Wilson, I know he's had injury. He's 32. He's 32. That feels like a youngster at this point. It used to be the tail end. A quarterback would hit 30 and you'd go, he's got like 2 or 3 more years. Now, I don't know. You might have another decade ahead of you.
No, Spencer, Russell Wilson at 32. If you translate like dog years into Ben Roethlisberger years, like he is an infant. Like Russell Wilson and his nano bubbles, he will be doing all sorts of weird cryotherapies in the year 2031 that we don't even know about yet.
And then he'll have cornrows, and he'll remind you how old he really is. I do think he's the type of guy that, he ages pretty well. It's not like he's crazy fast. He just avoids hits. If you never get hit, you're going to stay in the league a lot longer. And yeah, I mean, you've already heard the conversations. They were having conversations. I forget which broadcast I was watching at the time, but they're already talking about Russell Wilson potentially going to Green Bay next year. Forget this year. Forget recovering and, helping the Seahawks, eke into the playoffs. They're already talking about a new time for him and going back to Wisconsin and trying to win professionally there. So I just don't know if it's going to come together for this team. I think, if they surprisingly lose to Jacksonville, maybe they make severe changes at the bye and not just cross their fingers and hope Russell Wilson comes back.
Also, the thing putting the pressure on them, the neighborhood got rough. The neighborhood got rough fast with the emergence of the Cardinals, which I don't think anybody I think they anticipated better. They didn't anticipate the cartoon heroism of Kyler Murray in that offense. I don't think anyone was ready for that. And I don't think anyone was ready for the Rams to stay this consistently good. I think some people were maybe like, Sean McVay, he had a year, everyone will adjust. Surprise! We got an actual Viking at quarterback. We're good.
Yeah, no, if you went to Seahawks fans and you were like, hey, guess what? The San Francisco 49ers are going to be, what are they, like 2-4 right now? Whatever it is, they're going to be that. you would take that, and then you would get the rest of the picture filled out, and that vengeful genie would laugh at you in the end. Because, yeah, you're at the bottom of the standings. Congratulations. Kyler Murray, by the way, if you're Russell Wilson, you do have to feel some sense of like, oh, you're the A-list actor. Like, how does Brad Pitt feel about Timothée Chalamet? Like, that's how I would be concerned if I was Russell Wilson. Like, oh, this guy kind of does the stuff that I could do, but also he's like smaller and wafier and is more popular right now.
I have a question for you, Pablo. Do you think Russell Wilson knows who Timothée Chalamet is?
Took me a second. I had to like go through the Rolodex there. But look, I mean, can I stay on Matt Stafford and the Rams for a second?
I feel like Russell Wilson. Well, you know what? I was going to say Russell Wilson has definitely streamed Dune at this point, but all I see him doing is he is doing the thing where he's pantomiming like 2-minute drills. And so maybe he's just doing that the entire time. I retract. He probably does not know who he is.
Yeah.
Well, stay in the division there. And like, I don't know about you guys. I saw Matt Stafford throw a pretty slick no-look pass. The type that if Patrick Mahomes threw it, we'd be talking about it for the next 5 or 6 weeks, actually. And that dude with Cooper Kupp at his disposal, man, you could plan to throw that dude every single play, and he'll be that open at the very least. It doesn't matter how many people are covering him. So I feel like Russell Wilson and the Seahawks have bet the third billing right now in that division, just in terms of like guys you want to watch, and that they have DK Metcalf on that team. So like they just the neighborhood did get pretty rough really quickly.
Thanks for watching ESPN on YouTube. For live streaming sports and premium content, subscribe to ESPN Plus.